So a few weeks back, I ended up reviewing Finding Nemo with my buddy Rashad G Reviews, and I figured, why not do Finding Dory? So here we go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about Finding Dory. So as I said in the intro, I am once again joined by my buddy Rashad G from his channel Rashad G Reviews for another collab review, this time on Finding Dory, the long-awaited sequel to Finding Nemo, a film that he had actually never seen before. We're going to hear from him in just a little bit, but a big thanks to you guys for watching, and if you guys are interested in checking out my guest, you guys can find the link to his channel down below in the description box. Before we get into his thoughts, I'm going to go ahead and start with mine and say that I love this film. This film came out, I think, 13 years after the original film, which is just absolutely insane. It's crazy to think that it's already been that long because we're already in 2021 and Finding Dory came out in 2016. I was working at Cinemark at the time and I remember going to see this on opening day and I was pumped. I love this franchise, just even though it's just two of them, but overall, I just love these series of films. I love the ride that they have at Disney here in Epcot, and overall, I just love these characters. I love the journey, and I talked about it in my review for the first Finding Nemo. I love that movie. It's one of my favorite animated films of all time, one of my favorite Disney Pixar films of all time, and ultimately, it's just a film that I love in and of itself from top to bottom. Now, we're not here to talk about Finding Nemo, but we're here to talk about the sequel, Finding Dory, and quite frankly, I love this film too. I think it does such a great job of honing in on the character of Dory and really giving us a story that is meaningful and you feel for her character. Now, I will say I think I enjoy Finding Nemo a lot more, but this one is right behind it in my opinion. This is a film that has a lot of positives that kind of come from the technical elements of how long they waited between sequels. You have Andrew Stanton coming back as one of the directors, the main director. He was also the main director on the first film, though he had a co-director on that film and he had a co-director on this film. Two different people, but Andrew Stanton being the main one who came back to direct this film, and you can feel it. The same energy and love is here, the same vision is definitely here, and of course, like I was just mentioning, the technical elements, the animation for this film is absolutely phenomenal. I love the animation of this film, the voice acting is top notch, and I really just overall just enjoy the way that this film looks, feels, the score, everything about the way that this film was created is really top notch, and I gotta get that part out of the way here. Once again, you have Ellen Degeneres returning to play the character of Dory, and you have Albert Brooks coming back to play the character of Marlin, Nemo's father. You have a different actor who comes in to play Nemo in this film because obviously Nemo is still a kid in this movie and the guy who played Nemo in the original is obviously much older. But overall, I think that the actor who plays Nemo is pretty solid in this film as well. But on top of that, you have Ty Burrell, you have Ed O'Neill, you have Diane Keaton, and there's so many other great names in this film I can continue to list off. So the voice cast from the top to bottom is phenomenal. The voice work is phenomenal. The animation is phenomenal. And I just love the way that this film is directed and put together. One thing I was worried about going into this movie was that they were going to ride that whole, short-term memory loss thing of Dory's just a little too hard, and that it was going to kind of be more of a gimmick than really being able to be a strong sequel to a film that I love a lot. But I think that this film does a great job of using Dory's disability as an advantage in the story. They handle it so well to still keep it light and fun and keep the silly element of who Dory is present, while also being able to really lean into the tragedy of her situation and also allow you to really feel for her character as she goes on this journey. The basic premise of this film is that Dory has had some random memory that has popped up of her parents, and now she's on this journey to go and find her long lost family. She was a loner in the first film. She was just kind of drifting out there when she ran into Marlin. And then in this film, she's going out to try to find her family. And she ends up getting caught in some craziness. And of course, because of her short-term memory loss, she doesn't really know where she is sometimes. She doesn't really even know how she got there. And because of that, she ends up getting lost from Marlin and Nemo, who are her current family. And that's something I enjoy about this film. There's a lot of messages here. Obviously, one of the biggest ones being, not allowing anything that you may see as a disability or a handicap in your life. It doesn't necessarily have to be an actual disability like Dory has to really apply, but the idea being that, don't let those things hold you back. You know what I mean? How sometimes those things in life can hold you back, but it's about what you do to bounce back from them. And I really enjoy that message. It's also a message about what it is to really have family. And I love the fact that Nemo and Marlin are her family, and, through the course of the film, that becomes a lot more present to her, and I really enjoy that element as well. On top of the fact that not only are Marlin and Nemo in search of Dory, obviously hence the title, Finding Dory, but it's also about a metaphorical sense of finding Dory. Dory is finding herself over the course of this film. There is that element of her having to kind of discover who she is and what she will do in these situations despite her disability. I really enjoy that about the character. I really enjoy that about the journey. I really enjoy that about the writing, and I think it's executed very well. I think Ellen Degeneres brings a lot of range to the character in this film that wasn't present in the last one, because in the first one, she's a lot more of the comedic relief, whereas in this one, they take a character that was the comedic relief and give her heart. I really enjoyed that about the character, really enjoyed that about the film, and I think it's executed very well. Now that I've given you my general thoughts on the film, let's go ahead and hear what my buddy Rashad G Reviews had to say about this.
Perez, what's the deal? Pickles is everything kosher. So this time, you got me watching Finding Dory. When this came out, I was not looking forward to it because I'm not a big fan of spin-offs, with a few exceptions like Creed, or if I really like the character in the main movie like a Hobbs and Shaw, I'd check it out. But Dory, I didn't hate Dory. She was okay, but I didn't like Dory enough to where I would watch a spin-off movie about Dory. And I didn't watch any trailers on it, so I didn't really know what I was getting into. I just thought it was just a regular spin-off on another character, and I was wrong. So this is actually a sequel to Finding Nemo, which is cool because I love Finding Nemo. It's one of my favorite Disney Pixar movies. So once I found out that this was a sequel and not really a spin-off per se, I was all in. I was down. This was a very fun adventure. It didn't tug on the heartstrings like Finding Nemo did, like a lot of Disney Pixar movies did. It didn't really tug at the heartstrings where I'm about to choke up, I'm about to tear up, and I'm getting upset because, damn, I'm about to cry again, you big soft motherfucker. But no, it did have enough heart, though, where I felt it. I felt it. It had a heart where I was all in, and I got a newfound respect for the Dory character, and I rooted for her character, and I wanted to see her accomplish her mission, and that's finding her parents, to find her family. So this was very well written. Like I said, this was just a fun adventure from beginning to end. There were no slow moments where I had to go on my phone or where I had to get up and go do something, whatever. Like, once the adventure started, I was all in, I was zoned in. And one of the fears that I had, I said, okay, this is a sequel, but can it live up to the original as far as the characters, the laughs, you know what I'm saying? And it did for the most part. I think I probably got as many laughs in this one as I did in the original Finding Nemo. Now, as far as the side characters, nobody's going to beat Bruce the Shark and his crew, you know what I'm saying? But I was a fan of the whale shark, what was her name? Destiny, and the beluga whale, I believe his name was... Oh, man. I'm bad with names. But yeah, the beluga whale and Destiny, I thought were pretty cool characters. And I think the funniest character was the characters were the seals. I think the seals were kind of taking the place of Bruce and his crew. And yeah, man, just some funny stuff. And a message also. It wouldn't be a Disney Pixar movie without a message in it. And the message is, whatever your shortcomings may be, whatever you think your handicaps may be, whatever you feel like is setting you back from doing what you want to do, fuck all that, just go all in. And I even like the moment where Dory was talking to the octopus and she was saying, look, you think I planned any of this? Like, look, you just have to keep moving, man. You just have to just go with it, keep moving, like almost like Forrest Gump, like a feather, man. Just go in the wind, just fucking live. Fuck the planning and the bullshit, all that, man. Just fucking live. And I like that about this movie and the message in that. And kind of like how in Finding Nemo, he was held back by his fin. This time, Dory, she has that short-term memory loss, but as time goes on, her memory starts to come back, so her handicap is going away because she's willing herself to get through it. And I like that. I like that message in there, man. I can always depend on a Disney Pixar movie to give me an uplifting message in this crazy world that we live in now. Positivity is always necessary. You know what I'm saying? I need as much positivity as I can because... yeah, we just lived in some fucked up times now, and so a movie like this definitely lifted my spirits. Very colorful, very bright, funny, entertaining all at the same time. So wrapping this up, I'm trying to be brief here. Finding Dory to me gets a solid A. Not as good as Finding Nemo, but still a solid adventure. Very fun characters, and also sets up for another one, I guess. I want to see more of this universe now. I'm a big fan of Nemo. I'm a big fan of this movie, and I want to see this continue. You know what I'm saying? So, Perez, thank you once again for having me in this video, man. And looking forward to the next one, bruh. And the floor is yours, man. What you got?
A big thanks to Rashad for being here in this video. Loved hearing your thoughts, man, and I'm glad that you were a fan of this. I was a little worried when I sent this to you that, maybe you weren't going to be as into it, but, I'm glad to hear that you enjoyed it, and I was also surprised when I sent you Finding Nemo that you were a big fan of that, so I guess I shouldn't have been too surprised that you would enjoy this because I enjoy this one a lot too, and I think it's a great follow-up, so I'm glad to hear that you thought the same. And similar to you, I think Finding Nemo is definitely the better film, but I think that this film definitely is a really strong runner-up, and it has a lot of really great moments for these characters and the story that has a great message for families and for kids, for adults of all ages, and I really, really enjoyed this film in so many ways. Like you said, I think a lot of the side characters from the original are a lot better, but there's definitely some great side characters in this film, such as the seals, as well as the octopus. It was one of my favorites in this film, and I just really enjoy the journey that Dory has to go on. So I'm going to keep this short and simple. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Are you a fan of Finding Dory? Which do you prefer? Finding Nemo, Finding Dory? Who's your favorite character in this movie or in Finding Nemo? Please do go and check out my buddy Rashad G reviews. The link to his channel is down below in the description box. Go give him some love. Let him know I sent you. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one, all right? Bye-bye.